America's justified in going into any country and starting wars and throwing bombs and killing thousands of innocent people. And Tulsi is the only one who's brave enough to stand up and say that that's wrong. And I commend her. I have her back on 100%. I love everything she's saying. I love everything she's doing right now. Welcome everyone to the Progressive Social Warriors, where we speak truth to power. We speak truth to the Republican and Democratic Party, but especially the Democratic Party, because that's why we have Trump. So we're going to get into Howard Dean, the asshole, clown, moron. I don't know who listens to this guy anymore. I know I don't. I know no progressives do, that's for sure. He's going around making his news cycles, trying to smear Tulsi for not going along with the propaganda that the media and the Democrats and Republicans want America to believe, and try to brainwash America into thinking that America's justified in going into any country and starting wars and throwing bombs and killing thousands of innocent people. And Tulsi is the only one who's brave enough to stand up and say that that's wrong. And I commend her. I have her back on 100%. I love everything she's saying. I love everything she's doing right now. She's got my support 100%. So we're going to get into this moron, Howard Dean.
Said, thank you. Well, today Trump met with Democratic Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbrad of Hawaii. This is amazing what is going on here. Gabbrad released a statement after the meeting saying, while the rules of political expediency would say I should have refused to meet with President-elect Trump, I never have and never will play politics with American and Syrian lives. For years, the issue of ending interventions, regime change, warfare has been one of my top priorities. Let me be clear. I will never allow partisanship to undermine our national security when the lives of countless people lay about. There's a woman, a politician, Kelsey, who is very anti-intervention. Like yourself, about this Middle East thing. She's against the whole regime change number. And now she's going there with a way of maybe saying, maybe we can cut a deal with Russia. Maybe there is a way to somehow end the bloodshed in Syria and keep us out.
Well, I mean,
that's what she believes.
She's an interesting person, and the people from Hawaii basically have her tabbed as extremely ambitious with flexible principles.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, people get mad at me for stopping the video, but sorry. He just makes shit up. People in Hawaii are saying, what? How the hell does he know what people in Hawaii are saying? This guy's such a moron. He's such a son of a bitch, man. That whole Democratic Party is. This guy's such a con.
I mean, she was a lefty for Bernie, and now she's talking about running against Mazie Hirono, who's a left-wing or liberal senator from Hawaii. So who knows what this is all about?
I don't know. I can tell you what it's all about. It's about someone who's trying to protect the American people. The American government and media try to portray anyone who doesn't want to go to war as unpatriotic, when, as far as I'm concerned, they're the most patriotic people. They're the ones looking out for American brothers and sisters, mothers and dads, who are going to have to sacrifice their lives for nonsense, sacrifice their lives for the rich, for no justification in any of these wars. It's all for the rich. It's all for corporations to fill their pockets. None of it has to do with being moral or just. Let's not forget, I mean, Bush went into Iraq illegally. He went to the UN, asked permission. The UN said, no, you don't have enough evidence. And he just decided to make the coalition of the willing. And we're going to invade anyways. And how many thousands of people and kids got killed? I don't see no pictures of that. Why don't they ever show those pictures? So you're gonna come around, tell me now you're the just moral government that's gonna police the world? When there's atrocities out there where I don't see you anywhere because there's no profit in it, but as soon as there's profit in it, you're right there front and center. Anyways, let's continue.
investigation for these horrific chemical weapons attacks. I'll be the first one to denounce him, but the key is now with President Trump's reckless military strikes last night. It flew directly in the face of the action that the UN was working on at that time to launch an independent investigation, to find out exactly what the facts are, who was involved and who was responsible.
That is Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbrad. She's an Iraq vet and member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, and she's casting doubt on the president's claim that the Syrian government was indeed behind the chemical attack that killed as many as 100 people last Tuesday. Let's bring in Howard.
Sorry, real quick. I won't stop it too much. Casting doubt. See how she puts casting doubt? No, Tulsi wanted an investigation done. What's wrong with that? That's normal. That's what you're supposed to do. Hey, something happened. Before we start throwing missiles and maybe starting World War III, why don't we find out what happened first? No. We're just gonna throw 54 missiles at a country with no permission from anyone. We're just gonna do it because we're justified in doing it, even though we sell millions and millions of arms to Saudi Arabia, who's going around making a disaster in the Middle East, killing thousands of people. But that's okay because they're our friends. I love Tulsi for doing this. I think she's so brave for doing it. I have all the respect for her for standing up because she knew that this was going to happen. She knew she would be smeared and that she would be talked about as being unpatriotic and what's wrong with her and Howard Dean asshole. She's great for doing this.
Dean, former Vermont governor, former DNC chair, and an MSNBC contributor, and Republican strategist Susan Del Percio, both front and center right here. Good to have you guys. Howard, how do you respond to Tulsi Gabbard?
I think it's outrageous. There's a long, well-known history, both in our Intelligence Committee, Amnesty International, Doctors Without Borders. Every single one of these agencies has said that Assad is using chemical weapons. He's a barbarian. He's murdered 500,000 of his own people. I can't imagine how you could make a statement like that, especially being on the Foreign Relations Committee. I can't imagine what could possibly have been going through her head.
And to that end, you put a tweet out there. I'm going to read it to everybody, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so you said that Gabbard should not be in Congress, that this is a disgrace. All she's asking for is proof, though. Is that a bad thing?
If you're on the Foreign Relations Committee and you haven't seen the proof in the last 5.5 years that Assad is a butcher and used chemical weapons, there's something the matter with you. I am tired of people making excuses. This is no different than Trump making excuses for Putin. We've had enough of this. Let's talk about facts. And the fact is that Assad is a butcher, a murderer, and he has repeatedly, over the past few years, used chemical weapons on his own people. What more do you want?
I don't know. I want 100% proof that happened before World War III happens, which I don't know if anyone out there thinks that might not happen. You better wake up and smell the coffee because that could happen. A missile goes the wrong way, hits a Russian airplane. A Russian airplane by mistake hits an American ship or whatever, vice versa, and there you go. So I commend Tulsi's bravery for what she's doing. I think she's the most patriotic person out there right now, who knows better, who wants peace and not war. And I don't understand, man. Like the Democrats are supposed to be the party of let's have diplomatic solutions. Now Democrats, Republicans, let's just go to war. And if anyone has anything negative to say about it, they're unpatriotic. They're not American. When really they're the most American. Those are the ones that we should praise. Those are the ones that are doing the right thing, protecting Americans. Because you assholes want your fellow Americans to go get killed over asshole rich corporations so they can fill their pockets, because that's all that's happening. There's no moral. The American government doesn't care about kids or anyone dying, because if they did, they wouldn't go around the world starting illegal wars, killing thousands of people. It's sad. I got Tulsi's back. I don't know what you guys think out there. Let me know. I think Howard Dean's a clown. I don't think anyone even listens to this idiot anymore. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thanks. Remember, guys, please hit that subscribe button. Also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and follow the Justice Democrats. All the links will be in the description, so you don't have very far to go. Thanks.